Hello, my Roslins and Rosikins. Mother is back, and I want to talk about the feeling of being and feeling guilty because you have boundaries. So, I want to talk about specifically my relationship with my unambiguous black mother and how a lot of times I feel guilty because she's older and she's sick, but I personally still keep my distance because I just have a lot of trauma there. We've made amends throughout our time, but as you know, nothing ever feels the same when certain things happen between you and a parent. And a lot of times, as brown skinned, dark skinned exoticals, one of our privileged plights is that when we set up boundaries, even with our own parents and family, that we feel bad about it. And I was talking to another soldier about this, another person in my life, and they were telling me how they're not the best person to talk to because they feel like they don't need to owe someone something just because they're a parent, right? Or feel the need to be something because someone expects that of them. I, however, struggle with these things and I feel overwhelmed and at times get sad and depressed because, you wish your relationship dynamics were different, where there was a healthiness, there was a bond, there was trust there. But you know that that's not the reality, no matter how much you miss it and want it. And a lot of times, a lot of us deal with dissociating and trying to busy ourselves with other things in life besides the boundaries that have been crossed within our relationships with those closest to us. And a lot of times we feel guilty for the fact that we do retreat to our own worlds and our own lives, and we kind of just put everything else on the back burner in regards to those unhealthy relationships. And there are moments when the guilt starts to eat at you because you feel like, okay, well, am I being a bad daughter? Am I being a bad friend? Am I being a bad uh, sibling? Because I have created these boundaries that I once didn't have, but know that I need because when I didn't have them, I was in emotional turmoil. And so I say all that to say that it sucks. It fucking sucks. It just really does because you're doing it because you need to. You have to. It's not something that you're just deciding to do just because. There's a purpose. And it's to keep you going to the next day and the next day, right? It helps you to continue living by doing this and living in a healthier way. But when you let that person in and you disregard your own boundaries and need for boundaries, they end up causing more turmoil in your life. So it's like a double edged sword, right? The distance is needed, the space is needed, the boundaries are needed, but it creates a yearning. But if you let them in, they create more trauma and more pain for you. So I say all this to say that when you are trying to create boundaries and when you're feeling guilty, remember why you're doing it. I create boundaries because I need it. I need it more than anything, right? I need those boundaries. I have boundaries with people I work with. I have boundaries with my family. I have boundaries with my friends. I'm still developing boundaries with myself with certain things. And I need that. I need that. I need that. And it's not for everybody to understand, right? Even when they try to say that you are being distant or being this or being that, understand that you have your reasons just like they do for intruding on your boundaries, right? And at the end of the day, they don't live your life. They don't have your mentality. They don't know what you deal with. They don't know what you struggle with. All they know is what they dish to you, and they don't even know how you take it, nor do they care. So I want you to know, my Roslins and Rosikins, that unfortunately, some of our privileged plights are going to be that people want us to feel guilty, and therefore we do feel guilty because society says you have a mother, you should be close, you should be there for them. But you know that your childhood and some of your adulthood, that they weren't that way with you, that they actually put you down. They actually would sometimes physically abuse you. They would do a lot of things that were just not okay for a mother to do to a child. And you also realize that. And it's not to say that you don't love your parents or your mother. It's to say that you understand that your mother is human. And you also understand that you're an adult now. You don't have to tolerate certain things. And so you don't. And I just want to say that it's okay to realize that and to grieve the fact that you will never have certain relationships with certain people in your life, but to still love them and try to cultivate a system, a set of how you do things that works. Okay? That's what I would say for you, my Rosalynds and Rosikins, because that is important. That's very important. And I just want you all to know that you matter, you're loved, you will be okay. You have every right to your boundaries. You do not have to feel guilty for telling someone that that is a no touch zone, or this is a no discussion zone, or I don't like the way you talk to me like that. And so I'm going to keep my distance because you don't know how to treat me. There's nothing wrong with that. And you have no reason to feel guilty. You have every right to feel justified in your assessment of how you want people to deal with you and approach you in life. And with that, I'm going to say ciao. I love you, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Bye.